Navigating through the energies of New Earth is not an easy process and can become extremely overwhelming at times. As we all ascend into higher frequencies, we're all being guided to embrace our own unique divine pathway, a pathway created in the vibration of love. Join Vibe Nation radio host, international psychic medium Carrie Turcotte, as she guides her listeners to rediscover themselves by accessing the keys of knowledge that already exist within. Each week's show is divinely orchestrated to intertwine with the universal energies, allowing the listeners to go deeper within and understand the message being shared even greater. When you live in the frequency of love, there is no competition, so Carrie will be joined regularly by fellow soul family members who will bring forth wisdom and knowledge she knows should be shared on a global level. At the end of each show, Carrie will tap into the energies of the listeners to see what message Spirit wants to share with all those listening in for the upcoming week. If you really want to get to know who you truly are, come and join us now on Vibe Nation Radio, here on the IOM Radio Network.
Hello, my friends, and welcome to another edition of Vibe Nation Radio, where today I have a very special guest, my dear soul sister, Fortini. Hello, Fortini.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you for joining me today as we are going to battle the monkeys and the boys together. This sounds like a lot of fun, Fortini. It's a lot, don't we?
Oh, it's so much fun battling those animals.
And on today's show, the energy for this week is really from the Vibe Report has been talking about, the importance of releasing duality for oneness, realizing that we all are one, and especially you and your beloved, because, again, my friends, we have two different realities, but we are one soul. We always have been and we always will be. And this week is really energetically allowing us to break free from duality, to become one in whole, but to know that you are one, because there's so many people right now that are still beating themselves up and putting too much energy into the beloved and not themselves.
Right. Yeah, I see it. I see it all the time.
And we're all guilty of this. We're not here to
right.
praise that we're some, beautiful goddesses that don't do this. We all do. This is part of the shifting, my friends. This is part of the process of what is taking place as we shift to higher frequencies with our beloved. Because as we go into higher frequencies, we're now going in from 3D to 4D to 5D plus energies. And when we start to shift out of the 3D 100%, you get into 4D and 5D, that's when you truly start to know that you are one. But your monkeys are going to do their best to yap in your head to tell you otherwise.
Yep, it's true. It's almost like I picture it as a video game. So if you start at level 1, they're just monkeys. And the higher you go, the higher they go. So they're going to do their darndest to try and just bring you back down.
Yes.
But so where it might be like a monkey in the beginning, a little chimp in the beginning, it ends up being Donkey Kong the higher you're raising your vibration.
Yes.
So they're going to try and get you back down, and that you just can't let them. Yeah. Or you just kiss them goodbye. You just say, hey, thanks for showing up. I acknowledge you, and now it's time for you to go. Thanks, bye.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing right now is that the ego or the boys are trying to keep us in this illusion that we live in. And we live in a 3D illusion, my friends. We all know this. However, your illusion can shift through your frequencies. And if you're very stuck in 3D matrix energies, as you start to shift into 4D, you'll start to see the illusion start to break down. And when you go from 4D to 5D, they break even stronger. But again, like Fortini said, and I am channeling this in the Vibe Report, that the deeper we go in this process, the more difficult it becomes. Because now you're getting to the deep, dark soul, like the dark, deep stuff, like the night of the soul, that so many are afraid. And again, that's a fear, my friend, to, it's like people don't want to tackle what's being thrown at them. They try to put the blinders on, and the boys jump in and say, yeah, no, don't worry about it. You don't need to worry about this. You don't need to worry about yourself. You need to worry about what your beloved or your twin is up to. Yeah. When we know all too well that truly is not the case. that it really, I think the most difficult part of this journey, once you've gone through that whole crazy mode and you think you're crazy and psychotic and all this other stuff.
I'm bipolar. You're like happy 1 minute and then like freaking out the next, and you're like, what's going on with me? Well,
this is what's happening. Yeah. You know, you're starting to be aware of the other side. But when you get to a certain level and you're able to release it, I'm not saying you're in your illuminate stage yet, but you're in the surrender and release stage. You get to a point that when your fears show up, they're that much more deeper fears because you're now going deeper into the soul.
Yeah.
And I know a big like right now, we have to learn to trust in this process, because I speak with way too many who, you know, we're all guilty of it. I've had enough, can't do this anymore, you know, but we're kind of at the final stage, my friends, right now. We're shifting at the end of August and into September. So September is a brand new beginning for twins, and it's taken us into the higher frequencies, but we have to get there. We've got a couple of weeks left. And I have to say that, you know, these next 2 weeks are not, you know, easy peasy, but they're not as difficult as the last week of this month. This last week of the month is going to be pretty brutal for a lot of the twins, but it's getting rid of the darkest of the dark to realize you are one. And when you stop thinking that it's him or it's me or it's her or it's me or it's them or me, you blame, you know, is it white or black? You know, is it this way or that way? This is a time where you really need to go within yourself and listen to what your soul is telling you about your journey, not your beloved.
Yeah, I think that the shift has to be focused on you. Some people may find it selfish, some people may not. It really is your journey at the end of the day. It's all about you and what you do and how you face your dark side and embrace your light side and bring it all together. That's what the journey is. And I think in general, the main thing is, in general, everyone is so easy to see what they like or don't like about someone else. Like if you're what you enjoy about a friend or this, it's so easy. But when you go within, you don't want to face things that you may not like about yourself that you don't like in other people, but they're triggering you.
Yes. Yes, so, the shadow side comes out in all of us, and if somebody's triggering you, stop and ask yourself, why? Why are they triggering me? Is it because they're just triggering you, or is it because there's something in you that you don't like about yourself that you see in them? Mm-hmm. And that's the subconscious level. Yeah,
and that's it. That's where primarily, that's the whole point of your journey, is to face what's deep, deep, deep inside you, which is your shadow side, I find. And once you embrace your whole you, shadow and light, and that's even facing what you hate about yourself.
Don't say that word.
Oh, sorry. What you don't dislike about yourself, like that other people are triggering for you to notice, you have to face that in order to get to the light.
Absolutely.
At the end of the tunnel. And that's the hardest part, is self-realization, self-evaluation, everything that has to do. Very easy to sit there and look at everyone else, but to go within, that's the hardest part, and that's primarily your journey.
Yes. And for twins, you know, who do they usually point the finger at? The other twin.
Who is you?
And again, people need to stop and think about that. Like, if you're pointing the finger at your twin or your beloved, and they're doing certain things, or, you know, a lot of times, a lot of the stuff that comes out of most of our mouths is just assumption anyways, because we don't have anything to do with the reality. Yeah. So, again, this is really about you realizing that you are one, but stop thinking I have to help my beloved, because in actual fact, if you took the ownership back and realized you are one, and you took care of your own life and looked at it in a way how you could help them through your own living, you will start to see the magic start to begin. And I've seen this with so many people over the years that I've been working with twins, that, again, when you come to somebody, when you're very new to this twin journey, you know, like I said, you feel like you're a spun monkey lost out of control. You just don't know what zoo am I coming from and who am I?
You don't know which monkey bars you're hanging from.
But as you start to go through it and you start to go deeper, and you're starting to realize that you have to work on all the different layers of energy that you have, and, you know, and then you get to a point where you're like, okay, well, where are they? I'm working on myself, but why aren't they doing anything? Don't question that. Again, I like to say, like, one of the biggest things I'm saying to people right now is visualize your life as a sunset. Because when you sit out to watch the sunset, you have no expectations about how God's going to create that sunset. You're not going to say, oh, well, it didn't look like this, so, it wasn't a nice sunset. You're always in awe. And if you look at your life as a sunset, you have no expectations. And if you have no expectations, guess what? You can't be disappointed.
Nope.
And this is big right now, my friends, because, again, if you were to treat your life like a sunset, you really become one, because you're accepting all that is and realizing that, through this great love that I have with my beloved or my twin, we're like two ships out there in the sunset, and the light will pull us back together. And, I mean, really, you really have to trust in this journey.
Yeah, it's true. I could sit here and say it's true. And you have your good days and you have your bad days, and you think, oh, boy, this is difficult. What did I sign up for? Or, and, I mean, everything that we've been saying today, like you said, it doesn't exclude us. We're not perfect.
No.
We're just...
None of us are.
None of us are. We're just trying to handle things the best we can in the best way that our soul is guiding us to.
Exactly.
I think a lot of people focusing and putting the spotlight on their twin and what they're doing, they're in the process. They also lose that inner voice, what's telling them what's right for them.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you're just redirecting, and then the more you redirect, the more you have that window coming in where the ego and the boys come out to play, and then that's when they just pounce when you're ready.
Yes.
To just focus on your beloved. If you bring that focus back to yourself, and quite honestly, it's not difficult living day to day with 3D day to day reality slaps that get you paying the bills, getting up to go to work and all that. If you focus primarily on that and how to lay the foundations of how you want your beloved to live, purging your stuff, getting rid of all that negative energy that might be in your home and all that stuff, trust me, at the end of the day, you wouldn't even thought of your beloved other than to say, good morning, I love you, good night, I love you, I will talk to you in 5D.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty simple.
Yeah. And, we do have a lot of those that are in 3D reality with their beloveds, and we'll get into this when we come back from the commercial break. But there's a big shifting point taking place this week with the full moon. So when we come back, Fortini and I will talk about how to take duality and kind of kick it to the curb this week, because it's really a time to be doing this. We'll be back soon, right after the commercial break.
Your conscious lifestyle on steroids. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. As difficult as it is to believe, there are places in Africa where human traffickers sell albino children and their body parts for use in magic rituals. Humanity Healing International is actively working in Uganda to change this paradigm. The Albino Rescue Project finds albino children who are at risk and places them in safe schools and environments where they can learn and grow free from fear. To learn more or to sponsor a child, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is.
The truth is, you can't change the world if you're broke. I know, I've tried. Isn't it time you turned your life's calling into a profitable, freedom-based business? I'm Michelle Barr. Join me every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern for Sacred Success.
There is no death, only a change of worlds. Chief Seattle. Deborah Livingston is an award-winning intuitive psychic medium whose international services include mediumship, spiritual assessment, animal communication, and spiritual mentoring. She is a published author and a trained shaman. Deborah provides evidential messages from spirit and departed loved ones. Learn more at deblivemedium.com. That's DEBLIV medium.com.
How to be a great dad in 15 seconds. Bike ride, go fish, walk in the park, phone call, milkshake, play catch, picnic, fly a kite, tell jokes, laugh, talk, read a story, tell a story, bumper cars, swing set, bowling, pillow fight, cut loose, stay tight. Whew. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Live Nation Radio, where today my guest is Fortini, a dear soul sister, and we're talking about the releasing of duality for oneness. And before we went into break, we were talking about how the monkeys can come out and really get the best of you. But I think it's important to people who are listening to understand that in September, there is such a great shift of energies that are about to take place, and it's almost like the heaven and earth are coming together now. And we have a couple more weeks left where I know in the Vibe Report they've been really putting us to work to do a lot of the inner work, because it's so important that we clear the lower vibrations from our body as quickly as possible before September kicks in. Because you don't really want to take these energies, these lower duality, win or lose, or that's wrong, or that's right, or they're wrong, or they're right, or whatever. You don't want to be taking this with you where you're going. Because this is not what the new is all about. We're here in New Earth. And in New Earth, it's all new. None of us have been here before. So, we've never gone through this process while living. And this is where it's so important to listen to what your soul is telling you about this journey, because in order for you to come into reuniting or union with your beloved, you have to see the two of you as one. Because if not, when you get together, guess what? You won't be together for too long. You won't stay together. Because you've got to remember, you're looking at the other side of you. So if there's something you don't like about yourself right now, or something that you still see in a duality type of way, take these next couple of weeks for yourself and release this, my friends. This is the best thing you can do for your journey. It really is about working on yourself.
I agree. I think also love yourself. A lot of us are so looking for love and wanting to feel love and be love, and it starts with yourself. Not to sound like a cliche, if you don't love who you are, how can someone else love who you are if you're not embracing yourself?
Yes. I walk by the mirror all the time going, I love you, Carrie.
That's awesome. But not many of it. I mean, I'm equally like that. I forget myself most of the time. I'm so caught up in sometimes 3D living that you forget to love yourself. And it's so simple. You could easily treat yourself to a toothbrush to brush your teeth. That's how, it's like the simplest things, and we yet forget ourselves.
Yes. In a very large way.
Yeah, and that's where it all comes from, because if you're not loving yourself, your twin's going to come and go, oh, I love you, but something's not making me be here.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm finding right now that there's still a lot of twins out there that are putting 99% of their energy to their beloved.
Yeah.
My beloved this, my beloved that, my beloved's doing this, my beloved's doing that, beloved, twin. And it's like, whoa, slow down. Where are you in this equation?
How are you taking care of yourself and loving yourself and releasing and doing what you need to do? Yeah,
and today's a big release day for the twins. This is about you releasing this duality and getting ready, because, again, the full moon is coming, and this is kind of an almost lunar eclipse.
Great.
We're not going to be able to see it, but we're going to still be tapped into that energy. So, this is the eclipse season. We're starting to get going here, my friends, and this is an ability, it's a full moon. This is about releasing. And we're talking about let go of this duality and start seeing everything as one. You can even, right now, just look around your home and look and see how everything is just one. It's an illusion that we've created, right? But if you look really deep and you're really good with your clairvoyance abilities right now, because a lot of the twins are, you'll actually see the energy moving through everything, which is kind of cool. But it goes to show you how we're connected even to things that aren't real. So think about that in the bigger picture. What does Mr. Imagination do with Mr. Assumption and Mr. Expectation? They create something that truly is not there. And, Spirit the other day guided me to watch Stranger Things. And I laughed because I couldn't understand why, but I understood why. if you've seen the show, my friends, the place where they go, it's kind of like where we are right now. It's like, where are we? This looks familiar, but I'm not too sure where we are. I don't know what's going on. And a lot of us see it as dark instead of light because, again, it's new, and most of us don't like change. Yeah. And if we've been programmed a certain way and all of a sudden the new is here and there's no textbook or any guideline to say, here's the twin journey handbook, here you go. There isn't one. We're creating them. We've talked about this before because we are creating it for ourselves because our unique journey is going to help the collective find themselves as we shift forward into the new world, into the new earth. That's what we're here for. Right? So I really think it's important for people to realize that this is a week to let go of the duality and to realize there is healing taking place at a DNA and cell level. Mm-hmm. Most of us aren't aware of this because all we keep getting is yuckiness coming out. But guess what? It's because the yuckiness is fighting and going, no, don't let me go.
It's true. And there's more yuckiness and more yucky, and it's all, and people are getting love slapped and this and that, but it's all for you to see it, acknowledge it, and release it. And like you said, this is like a perfect timing with the full moon coming. What better way to release something?
Yes.
You could do your full moon ritual and release everything, and then, cleanse your home and just.
This is a good time to do the condo in my head exercise if none of you have done this, or those that are doing it, keep evicting. We've all got eviction notices to continue doing because the biggest eviction notice you have to do is to yourself. Mm-hmm. We all know that, those that are hanging out in the condo in my head. And you can find these exercises, my friend, at carrieturcott.com. Under home, you'll see the roll down and it will say Vibricize. Those are exercises to help raise your vibrations. And honestly, full moon time is a great time to do evictions.
Yep.
And
I laugh because I'm like, I got to write one to myself after this weekend. Mm-hmm.
And those that are on this journey realize that it's not a one-stop thing. It's a constantly. And as you're releasing, you're building your new life, the 5D life that you want to live in the vibration of love. Mm-hmm. But we have to be able to put closure to the old life, which is a completely different book than the new life that we're now creating now. Mm-hmm. So I'm just getting from Spirit right now that this is a week, if you start to lose the duality and see yourself as one, put your energy in yourself knowing that if I can help myself and I can release these lower vibrations that are still creeping up on me, I know I'm doing good for both my beloved and myself. But you already know that at a soul level. You just got to train the boys to understand otherwise, that when you work on yourself, you are helping your beloved. That's the best thing you can do.
Yep. It's not only you, it's also them. It's vice versa, too.
Yes. And I don't want those that are new to this journey to think that, I'm throwing in the towel, because some of us have been on this journey for a really long time. And, I have to say that, Mr. Helpless comes out once in a while and, you can't do this. And then all of a sudden you're feeling lonely and you feel this is all hopeless. But again, those are your emotions that you're trying to deal with to realize it's not hopeless because, again, if you were already one, why is it hopeless? Mm-hmm. These are the questions I want you to ask yourself, my friends, as a twin. This is truly about finding oneness and stop pointing fingers at one another, because if you can let go of duality this week, next week will be beautiful for you, because we are going to the deepest, darkest night of the soul next week. But when we go there, there's beauty that comes out of it too, because when you become friends with the monkeys and the boys and the ego and all that stuff, the wisdom and knowledge that lays at a soul DNA level starts to come through. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is show a little light. I believe, I know, I have faith that this is truth. Again, it's about your truth. That's really important about what's coming up because, again, this is a dedicated effort that both of you are working on it. But really, most of us just don't remember what we signed to be able to do to help one another.
You could say, some of us don't even remember what happened 2 seconds ago, but it'll all come
exactly. And until you really remember that soul contract that you signed with your twin or your beloved, don't second guess. Don't try and guess what's on there. Yeah. And one thing I do know when it comes to the twins, because of what I teach with personality traits and stuff, is that if you are one, you have to understand that your strengths are your beloved weaknesses. And their strengths are your weaknesses. And that's why we're going through an energy flip right now to become stronger as a soul. Mm-hmm. Again, it's not about battling the boys, because your beloved has their reality and they have their own boys to play with, as you do too. Right?
So, oh boy, when you go through that flip, whoo-hoo.
Yeah, and you're dealing with the flip of energies, and you're dealing with your beloved, energies. All of a sudden you're like, whoa, that's where the stranger things come in. It's like, oh, I've been here before, but I don't remember it being this dark.
Mm-hmm. You know what, that just kicked in an image. I don't know who pretty much everyone's seen Finding Nemo, but you know that turtle that's just riding the current?
Yeah.
And he's going, dude, it was like, whoa. And then I was like, whoa. And then it was like, that's what you're going through.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
You're that turtle for like.
As you're going through and you're becoming dude, you also become Dory, and you're like, whoa, what did I just say? Can't remember. Where did I just go? I'm not sure. and this is, again, living in the moment. A lot of people are thinking they're getting Alzheimer's, and I'm not saying I'm a doctor here. Please get medical help if you feel that you need it. But when you live in the moment, you're not supposed to remember the past. So that's why a lot of us feel like we're Dories now, because we can't remember what we did 2 minutes ago, never mind what we did yesterday or last week. But after 15 years ago, we could probably tell you, because it's still it's still like grained in our rewiring. It's already there. Mm-hmm. Right now we're rewiring to release, to bring the new. So every day is a newer day, so chances of you really remembering every little thing that took place like you could have, it's not going to happen. But you're not supposed to, my friends. You're supposed to live in the moment. And if you're living in the moment, you're living in oneness. You're not living in duality.
Mm-hmm. When you don't feel your beloved, that's when you're one.
Yes. Good answer. Fortini, you got an A on that one.
I'll get you an apple when I see you.
So remember that. When you don't feel your beloved, you're more in tune with one another. That's very cool. We're going to talk about that when we get into the next segment. So stay tuned. We're going to commercial break, and Tony Fortini and I will be right back.
Free your mind with OMTimes Radio, IOM FM. Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake.
Eros Evolution is where sexuality and spirituality meets. Join me, clinical sexologist Martha Tara Lee, on Eros Evolution on Thursdays, 4 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio.
When Dad needed help getting around, I became his driver. Soon enough, it was up to me to be his housekeeper and financial manager, too. When he moved in, I became his cook and even his nurse. But no matter what roles I play, I know I'm still his daughter.
We understand the roles you play. So to help, we created aarp.org/caregiving, where you can connect with experts and other caregivers. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Vibe Nation Radio, where today I have my beautiful soul sister Fortini on with me, and we're talking about the releasing of duality for oneness.
Yeah.
Now, Fortini, you've been on this journey for quite some time too, my dear.
Yes.
How long did it take you to really realize that you were one, not two?
About 20 minutes ago. No, I'm kidding. I would say early this year.
Okay, so
and you go in and out of it. It's not like like you said, it's a never-ending process where you have to kind of because the boys will hit you where you're weak. So if that is a weakness that you haven't overcome, they'll hit you. And I would say earlier this year, I'll go in and out, like I said, and kind of go into duality and believe and be in one. And But I would say this year I'm getting a better hold on it.
Yes, and this is a year of completion, my friends. And the reason why I'm asking Fortini and putting her on the spot, she didn't know I was going to ask her this, is I'm going to let you guys know that this is such a process that there's too many people that see this as a race. And if this is a year of completion and the energies are just shifting and we're going into the new and we're going into higher frequencies, why is everyone in such a rush to be with their beloved today, right now? I understand it's a soul pulling, but we also want to ensure, I've been saying this from day one since I started doing the Vibe Report, the clearer the vessel, the more blissful the union of the reuniting will be. And for those that are already reunited, I'm sure there's a lot of things going on between the two of you right now that the soul cleansing, again, with the duality of, you know, living in front of that one person in front of you, I'm sure this is not easy. You know, I wouldn't know because I have no 3D reality contact with my beloved, but I do know a lot of people that do. And it's like they're doing this mad song and dance, and like, you know, they've gone from, you know, doing line dancing and now they're doing the tango and they're about to do the cha-cha. Like things are speeding up for them. And it's, again, it's like, it's just see the soul as if it's shifting around. Like when you see most twins, when you close your eyes, you can see the intertwining and the swirling of energies between you and your beloved. And if you see that and you feel it, remember, you've got to come up into the higher frequencies to become more of one. You always are one, but again, your side of the soul and their side of the soul, you're dealing with different past life energies too that you're releasing. So the higher you go in frequency, the more your beloved is going to be coming with you, and it's going to help them. And that's the importance of this, of if you see this as one and not duality, that whatever you're working on for yourself, you need to understand you're working on this on an energetic level for your beloved as well. Again, you're not stepping into their mind and controlling their boys, but by shifting the vibrations of how the boys beat them up, you are truly helping them.
Yeah. It's true.
Does that make sense, what I just said?
Oh, yes, it did.
Okay.
Yes, it did. And it took me to yesterday when I remember we spoke. I'm like, Carrie, I'm having this. You're like, yes, it's duality. I'm like, oh, okay, gotcha. And then you just go to work. And then if you've done the work on yourself, you know exactly what your soul needs to do.
Yes.
But,
and this month, these next few weeks, my friends, it's kind of like Spirit is saying it's time for duality to leave for the twins. Okay, I'm not, you know, if you're somebody who is not a twin but you're listening to the show because you're part of the soul family, yes, you too need to work on releasing the duality. However, it is imperative for the twins to understand this because a lot of twins are at the point that they don't want to continue on, and it's like, why have you been running around for eons, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, for this to take place, and then just before it happens, you're like, nah, not going to do it. We all have those moments, yes. Yeah. But again, you got to stop yourself from saying this, my friends, because it's a vibration. And when you say that, guess what? Your beloved gets struck on the head and it's like, nah, I'm not going there anymore. Like, you know what? I was going to reach out, but now I'm feeling, I'm not going to go there. You got to be so cautious of what you're vibrating right now.
Oh, exactly. And you know what I find, especially around this time, whatever you vibrate comes to you and manifests quickly than before.
Oh, yeah, because of the energies.
Yeah. Yeah. I maybe vibed on a couple of things, and then like within that day or even 3 days later, it all of a sudden appeared in the form it needed to. Yes. That the universe gave to me. Yeah. But I was like, whoa, hold on, that never happened. This is cool. Yeah. Well, but you got to be careful with the positive thoughts and the negative thoughts.
The negative thoughts, because we see the positive show up a lot faster. Yeah. We don't see the negative so much, though. Yeah. And you lower the vibration. So, again, remember, put energy into that which you desire, not which you do not. A lot of people don't realize they do. They focus on what they don't want instead of what they do want. Mm-hmm. You got about 15 seconds to feel sorry for yourself and let that go before it truly becomes a vibration out there. And again, with, this planet, Gaia, where we're going, it's turning into oneness where we all must work together. And you're probably noticing, my friends, that in your everyday lives, that you're seeing people that are getting more out of control in a lower vibrational way, and others are just starting to hop, skip, and jump through life. Like, wow, life is getting good. I'm liking this. I'm liking where I'm going. You can actually see the difference now between people. Mm-hmm. And I find those that are in lower vibrations, and if you are a twin that is in lower vibrations, chances are you've got the blame game going on. You're blaming everybody else to why what is happening with yourself or your beloved. You know, a lot of people go out and say, the reason why my beloved's this is because this, and this. So why are you contributing to the blame game, knowing as a twin that is 3D vibrations, and that if you continue that way, you will not reunite with your beloved because that's not in the frequency of love. No. Your beloved is living the life that they're living with whomever they're living with, regardless if it's a relationship or a career or whatever it is. That is their soul's journey, and you would have agreed to it. So, you know, what they had to learn something, a life lesson right now that they hadn't learned, then they have to learn it with someone else. They can't learn it with you because you are one. Again, so this is the importance of understanding this, my friends, that if you're not good to yourself and not loving yourself and focusing on where you are going, because you need to understand that we have everything within us right now, all the wisdom, all the knowledge, everything you need to move forward in your twin journey on helping Gaia. Remember the mission in the bigger play, please. The mission is here. We're here to help Gaia. And if you and your beloved are meant to reunite and come into union to help Gaia together, have faith it will take place. But again, we're in a 2016. We're in a year of completion. The big shift really starts to change next year. And it's starting to take place over these next couple of weeks. But if you don't get yourself out of this duality thing and stop pointing fingers and blaming everyone else and their dog for what's happening with you and your beloved, it's not going to go anywhere. No. I don't need to be the burden of bad news, but I'm not going to lie about this, my friends.
I also find that people are too focused on labels too. Like, if there's a certain date that has an event attached to it, oh, I got to do this, and we're going to get, no. Your soul knows. Yes. And if you hear someone say, okay, this is, I don't know, like today's date, August 15th, you're supposed to be getting, I don't know, something minute, a phone call. And if you don't and you get disappointed, then you start feeding it again. Yeah. Feeding the boys again.
Yeah. And that's why we say if you don't have expectations, you can't have disappointment.
Exactly. So forget about the labels. We're supposed to be here to help Gaia, and forget about the label. Forget that you're even a twin. It's what you are. It's an aspect. It's what, you know, it's a side of yourself that you've discovered. Move on. Find something else. What else are you good at? What are you know? Just forget the labels, the categories, everything. Yeah. You're creating something, like you said, completely new. Yeah. Categories and labels and dates and times and are unnecessary, really.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. And again, it's, you know, at the end of the day, I know I'm a twin flame. Do I have to tell the world that I am? No. Because the twin flames are here to help change Gaia. We're here to help humanity. And I'm a blue ray. And blue rays I'm an illumined blue ray for that matter. I just don't like to put the label against me, but I'm here to help teach. That's what the blue rays are here for. We're here to teach. So, you know, at the end of the day, do I have to say I'm an illumined blue ray, that I'm here to teach? No. I don't.
You're still a teacher.
I'm still a teacher, and I'm here in the God presence of oneness to say we all are one. And the one thing I'm getting, I have a lot of loved ones sitting in my living room right now.
Damn, I'm missing the party again.
But the one thing they're trying for me to really say to people is that really let go of this week, this one. We are not one. This duality that you might think. Like if you go out there and like, oh, I bought a lottery ticket, but I didn't win. Oh, that sucks. Well, that's kind of duality, because you might say, you know what? The force wasn't with me this time, but guess what? Somebody did win, and I'm really grateful and happy for that person. Kind of shift things around and just kind of see that, you know, the money didn't go into my pocket, but it went into somebody else's pocket that is probably going to help in some way. And it's just, when you start to see that we all are connected in some way, especially when it comes to the beloved, your life becomes a little bit more easier to navigate through. Yeah. Because if you're waking up every morning and saying, hey, baby, how's it going? Have a great day. And then you're off doing your own thing. And they come in, you know, again, you can't get rid of them. They're part of you. But as they come in, you say, hey, yeah, I can feel you. Hope you're having a good day. and let them go on with their day. Don't start putting energy into that. Focus on yourself. You know, I've been saying this for months. Give yourself 5-10 minutes at night before you go to bed. Just sit there, close your eyes, and, you know, become one with your beloved. You'll feel it, and talk to them then. But talk to them like, I had a great day. I learned this. Did you learn that? Yeah, I learned this. And guess what? That's going to help both of us, because I know that this is something that, you know, was in our soul contract for both of us to learn. Don't be saying, I'm helping you do this, I'm doing that, this. Again, make this as a one conversation that you're talking to the one soul, because you're both helping. And again, there's too many people that just don't really grasp this. As much as they know, they can't grasp it.
It's a hard thing to grasp. Well, it depends. I mean, if you get a few love slaps too, that kind of send you, and you're like, I got it. I'm good.
And they're like, okay, now that you got that, we're going to take you into the dark night of the soul, and we're going to give you something else, sister.
You know. And then some just are, I feel, are just stuck. Yeah. They either out of fear, they don't want to see what else is ahead.
Yeah.
Maybe the deeper, because honestly, the deeper you go, the harder the slaps.
Yes. Oh, yeah, because now you're going into the deep dark of the soul, and this is life lessons you've learned.
Drop kicked.
Oh, yeah. You've learned this lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. This is not just this one lifetime, my friends. So the deeper you go and the further you go along this journey, the deeper you go into the dark night of the soul to be able to clear it. Because, again, what's our mission? To help Gaia, and the more clearer your vessel is, and the more clearer your beloved's vessel is, the more blissful the reunion will be.
Yeah, it's true. I try and have fun with it. So if you're having a difficult day, and I'm facing a few boys here and there, and, you know, kind of acknowledge them and kiss them goodbye, and then burn them later on, all of a sudden I'll, like, do the Rocky theme song in my head. Da, 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 da. You know, I did it. I survived the day. Let's go on to the next.
This is wonderful.
Music is our life.
And if you're finding that music is difficult, my friends, as we go into the music, just know that it's not always, listen to stuff that doesn't have words. Because a lot of times the words are what's messing with people. So if you need music, go instrumental and watch what happens. We'll be right back after the commercial break, and we'll have the weekly reading for what's going to happen.
Bringing you the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio, your conscious lifestyle on steroids. Being a radio host on IOM-FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Dr. Kevin here, and I want to invite you every Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, to join me on the Dr. Kevin Show, where we have a diversity of guests who help you step outside the box, behind the curtain, and see what a load of crap is going on in the world today, so you have more information with which to make better decisions. We'll see you there. Namaste.
Hello, I'm John Lithgow. Manatees are unique, among the most amazing animals on Earth, but they're endangered. We pose the greatest threat to their survival. Many manatees are killed or injured by boats or other recreational activities. I'm a writer of children's books, including one about manatees, and I believe education is the key. You can be part of the solution. Please contact Save the Manatee Club right now. Call 1-800-432-JOIN. Thank you.
Welcome back to Vibe Nation Radio, where today my special guest Fortini and I have been talking about the releasing of Duality for Oneness. And, of course, during the commercial break, my living room filled up with even more spirits from our soul family. And they have a very sharp message, but this is a beautiful message as well. They're just saying that there's so many people that are listening in right now that still feel that their life or their twin journey is at a standstill. It ain't going anywhere. And they're saying that's duality.
Yeah.
They're saying a lot of us need to let go of that, because they're saying it's more like they're saying they want us to see life as an adventure that makes us feel rich inside. This is an adventure that makes you feel rich from the soul. And even though many of the twins have let their guards down, they're feeling that their life is at standstill because they don't see the happily ever after that they've been trying to co-create. And Spirit is trying to say most of the happily ever after that so many of us have been trying to create is old energy. It's not new. So, you know, your happily ever after is not really what it will be in the newer vibrations of where we're going. And they're saying here that the flame is about to relight again within the twin journey, and it's almost like we're going through a threshold of something brand new, something that is going to make you be recognized for the person that you truly are. And this is about, you know, how you want to feel when you're with your beloved, when you come into union with your beloved, or you reunite with them, that you want to enjoy life and don't just see it as the Romeo and Juliet that so many people see this as, because, you know, yes, you can have that, but getting there is very difficult for many of us to do. But they're saying if you love life and treat love in life, like your life is love, that's what it is, and you're patient, watch what starts to take place. Because, again, my friends, they're saying that we're getting rid of this duality so that next week we can go deep, deep, deep into the soul with our beloved, to face our deepest, darkest fears the following week, but then come out in September like, woohoo, you know, like, wow, okay, this is shifting. Because this month is all about choosing your battles. Who are you? And it's choosing your battles in everything. It's not just people. It's situations, things like, you know, did you get your taxes done? You better choose that battle. Are you going to turn around and pay your bills? Or, you know, are you planning on moving? Are you going to school? Like, what are you doing? People have to make decisions, but don't see it as the right decision or the wrong decision. The decision is the decision that you've made for yourself, which is the right decision. There is no wrong. Where we're going, again, it's the deprogramming of the mind, the psyche, that is really messing with a lot of people. And those that are very analytical, need to know why, are going to have the most difficult time this week. Okay, so try and let go of the whys and understand that, again, you may not understand the process because you're not thinking the way you used to, because we are rewiring. But if you have faith in your journey, that you're going to love the journey that you're on, you're going to love what you're doing, it's going to make you feel rich, you're going to live the life you want to live, you watch what starts to take place, my friends. Again, this isn't overnight. This is a process. And there is no date that Spirit's giving to me for the big reunion date, because there isn't one. We reunite with our beloveds, or we go to the next level with our beloved in our soul contract when it was supposed to take place. So throw it away, my friends. You know, as much as we feel that we're all by ourselves, nobody else is going through this, believe me, any twin on this planet is feeling this. It is an energetic shift that's taking place, which is creating the soul to release the lower vibrations to become one. So as this starts to happen, the soul memories will start to kick in, the love you started to share years and years and years ago, or many, many, many lifetimes ago, you start to feel that as well. So embrace this, but do your best not to point your fingers at somebody else to why your life is the way that it is, or why your beloved's life is the way that it is. It is what it is.
I found an easy way to make you kind of, this is what helped me, because in the beginning, everyone said, you know, you're like, why, this, how, oh, why did I do that? Why did he do that? Why did she do that? You know what? Then I said, hey, it's that old childhood saying, if you have one finger pointing at that person, guess what? There's 3 pointing right back at you.
Yeah.
So what are you blaming that person for that you're probably doing either 3 times as much, or there's 3 different other things that you could be blamed for? So, like, that's where you need to go deep within, focus on yourself, fix those 3 fingers that are pointing right back at you.
Yep.
And then, you know,
do an eviction notice, my friends. I'm telling you, the biggest condo in your head is the penthouse that you live in. So if you can point the finger back at yourself, like Fortini said, and, you know, forgive yourself. Let it go. We're here to experience, my friends. This is what we're here for. We're here to co-create the new as well. We're co-creators. And if you're pointing fingers at people, how much are you using your creative life source energy? You're not. You know, it's not creative to point your finger at somebody else and say it's all your fault. That's ego.
And if you want to get creative, start working on your vibe box. That just popped in my head.
Well, there you go. And remember,
cutting and pasting.
Yeah, if you put something in your vibe box, it does not mean you will co-create it, my friends. The vibe box is simply to help raise your vibrations to get that which is already in your soul contract. You know, a lot of people put things in that soul contract, in that vibe box, that is very 3D, and then they don't get it and they don't think it works. It's like, well, you weren't supposed to have it to begin with, so why would God give it to you?
It's just a feel-good box.
Yes. Yes. Feel-good box, baby. That's exactly.
It's the feel-good. It's like Dr. Feel-Good box.
And this is going to help you, my friends, with the releasing process. Again, think about what's going on galactic level out in the universe when it comes to astrology. You know, this is really important when you're a twin, that you need to follow astrology and you need to understand what's going on at an energetic level. Because if this week you're trying to go deep within the soul about your dreams coming true and everything you daydream and this is all going to happen, you might be ahead of the boat of energy because you're supposed to be dealing with duality right now. Mm-hmm. That comes next week. So, you know, I want people to understand that when you're working with astrology, it helps you to work with the energy, because at the end of the day, what are you and your beloved? You are energy. That's who you are. You're one soul. Mm-hmm. And it's energy work that you're doing with your beloved. Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's really important this week to really take this time and start to realize, where do you point the blame? Who are you giving your energy to? And be honest with yourself. If you know 90% of the day, all you do is think about your beloved and what are they doing and what are they up to and blah, 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 go do yourself a favor and smack your head against the wall. and just wake yourself up, my friends, because you're not going to find your union there. It won't happen.
I laughed because my daughter was smacking my forehead yesterday, like the V8 commercials. I don't know if anyone's seen, you know, where they just smack their head.
Yeah.
She's like, "Here you go, Ma," and it was out of the blue. And I know your dad was around, probably laughing.
Well, that's funny
because he plays around with her all the time.
Well, you know what's funny, Fortini? I was actually at to go off course here. I was actually at a funeral home. I had to go in there and speak with somebody, and while I was there, obviously, I'm in a funeral home, so spirits are going to come through. Yeah. And the person I was talking to, I did smack my head, and I said, "Oh, my gosh, I feel like I have to have a V8." And she started to cry. And I was like, "Oh, no, what did I do now?" Oh. And her father used to do that all the time because he loved V8. So he would go up and smack his head and go, "Okay, I think I need to have a V8. So it doesn't surprise me that I had this experience. My father was with me, obviously in spirit. And then what does he do? He goes and plays with your little one.
Yes.
And says, "Tell Mommy to have a V8.
He said, "Tell Mommy to smack Mommy's head." That's what he said. Because she's like, it was like almost like a love slap from her, like snap out of it. Like I think I was like going in and out of my duality, and she would smack me out of it.
Yeah. And my friends, the reason why I wanted to share this with you, because in our soul family, we all work together. We're not alone. Even the spirits on the other side love to play with everybody. And we have a lot of them in our soul family, like Bradley and, you know, my dad and Amy Hollywood's grandmother. You know, there's a lot of other ones that, you know, that do show up, but just because of confidentiality, I'm not going to say anything. But please know, this is how we work with our family, so that when you're having not a very good day and you're living in a duality world, guess what? My dad and Bradley will probably show up and, like, knock some signs.
V8 you.
They're going to have the signs and synchronicities all over you. Like the SNS Soul Sisters come with them all the time.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that at the end of the day, I think the biggest message we're trying to say here, people, don't look at your twin flame journey as a win or lose. I'm either going to win it or I'm going to lose it. Because at the end of the day, you already have one, because you already are one. Mm-hmm. And you have to be grateful for that. And you have to be grateful that, you know, God allowed the two of you to separate into two different vessels to experience that much more, so that when you did come back into one in the physical form, you could bring that wisdom and knowledge that you have gained in this lifetime and many, many more to create the new. This is the new that we are creating for Gaia. And again, we're in the new, my friends. And believe me, we're getting out of the yuckiness and into the new really September 1st. So just see September 1st is the deadline for your brand new book of life. You got August 31st, your old book of life needs to be done and gone. September 1st, new life, new words, speak as if you had it, and know that you are always one, and there will never be duality between you and your beloved. There only will be if you allow it.
Yeah. New canvas. Start painting that picture.
Yes, and create it as if you already have it. Remember that beautiful sunset, my friends. Knowing that if you treat life as a beautiful sunset and you never have any expectations of what is going to take place, you will never be disappointed. It is so important for people to understand that. Because if you start assuming and expecting what is going to happen in your union, you're throwing yourself off course. You know, we have to believe and have trust in this. Knowing that if you trust yourself, why can't you trust your beloved to get their life together to move forward too? There's just too many people going, oh, my beloved's not going to get forward, this and that. And again, we're all guilty of this. Okay?
Everyone.
Every single one of them.
Myself included.
Yeah. I don't sit there and talk about it for days on end. That might come out of my mouth, and I'm like, Carrie, what are you talking about? You're them. So you know what? Don't go there.
Yeah.
Right? So remember, friends, we're all one. Fortini, thank you so much for coming on today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
We're going to all have fun this week releasing full moon. And remember, my friends, our patience are starting to pay off. See this as a new beginning, a new adventure of 5D life, and watch how the magic begins. Remember, you and your beloved are always one, always have been, and always will be. So have a wonderful week. Enjoy these energies and release the duality, knowing next week it's all about sharing the love, my friends. Sharing the love, sharing the love.
I love it. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Woohoo! We're going to
burn, and share the love.
Have a wonderful